Hello, this is Doc Luxury and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a sort of a part 2 of my watch collection, but this time I'm only going to talk about my analog digital watches. In particular, I have these 6 that I'll be talking about, and I'll go into a little bit more detail here. Basically organize these in order of, I guess you can say, affordability. Alright, so I think I'll do this a little this way here, but this is my, probably you can say, my most affordable analog digital watch. This is from Kenneth Cole. As you can see, it does have an analog dial, and the digital output is there as well. Next up, I have this watch here. It is from Armani Exchange. I mean, you can't really, see anything because the battery's dead on this one. But it does have a digital output if it did have a battery on there. Nothing too special about these two. Well, actually, I take that back. Going back to this Kenneth Cole watch, it is pretty interesting because it is a touch screen on this watch, which I think is pretty nifty. It does, you have to do that sort of thing to set it and things like that, and it is not very responsive, and so, it is, a cool thought, but not really good as far as actually using it. Alright, so I have these 2 watches. Next up I have my Burberry watch right here, and this one I really love. I have, as you saw in my previous video, if you watched it, I have 7 of these watches, which is really bad, I know, but yeah, when you like something enough and you don't want it to go away, you're just gonna get more and more of them. Nothing special about this watch really as far as functionality. As you can see, it has the digital output as well as the analog dial. Going up in the scale of luxury as well as cost, this is my Gucci watch, and this is a digital watch, but it also has, if you press this button, it does convert to quasi-analog. As you can see, there is the hour and the minute hand, but since I love digital, I always have it on this face here. With all these digital watches, they do have different features like a timer, a chronograph, an alarm, and other things like that. So moving on in the collection, I have this guy right here. This is from Tag Heuer, and the cool thing about this watch is if I go into, let me see if I could figure out how to, if you can see here when I'm setting the time, as I set the digital, the minute hand is also moving as I set the digital. So I guess, both of these, the digital and the analog, are connected. But the best watch that I have here is my Louis Vuitton watch. And the nice thing about this watch, let me just show you as I set the time here. And so I'm going to set the hour hand. If I could get this into focus, probably the best way. As I set it, you can see I went down 1 hour, and the hour hand, or like the minute hand, goes all the way around. And so this watch, when you set the digital hand, or when you set the digital time, it also automatically sets the hour hand, which I think is really cool. And so the Tag Heuer and the Louis Vuitton are the only ones where you only have to set one and it sets both of them. So like I was saying, the Louis Vuitton and the Tag Heuer are the only ones where you only need to set one and it sets both of them, the analog and the digital. The other watches that I showed you here, like my Burberry, the Kenneth Cole, actually I'm not really sure about the Kenneth Cole to be honest with you, and the Armani Exchange, you have to set both the analog and the digital separately. I don't think Rolex or Chanel, for example, I don't think they have any analog digital watches, which is a bummer, but yeah, it's always nice to have one of those. But in the meantime, this is my favorite watch. And the unfortunate thing, I think, is that ever since smartwatches came to be available, I don't wear many of these watches very much anymore. As you can see, I am currently wearing my Samsung Gear S watch, and I think it's really cool. I have this little it's a little face of myself. But yeah, so I've been using this one pretty much all the time, only because it syncs up to my phone, which is right here. The nice thing about this watch is that I am able to make phone calls with it and use it as a speakerphone. And yeah, if I don't have my phone on me, this also does act as another phone. It has its own phone number, and yeah, I don't need to take my cell phone if I'm going to be going on a walk or something like that. All I need is my watch here, and I can make phone calls if I needed to. But yeah, so that does it for this video. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, please write them down below. And yeah, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I'll be coming out with a few more videos really soon. And yeah, well, that does it for this one. Have a good night, you guys. Bye. Focus. Been having a little issues with that. Actually, let me switch over to my other camera here, alright?